Hello and good evening, NMKL trader community. I'm taking a few minutes tonight. It's 6 p.m. here. Just put this together to do a few minutes of training with you all and a synopsis of today's market. Today is the 7th of July, 2025. Now, the two markets I'm going to take a look at are gold and the mini NQ or the Emini Nasdaq 100. Those are two key markets that I was in today looking. Okay, now keep in mind that my trading style is very simple. I'm looking for about 10 points or 40 ticks in the NQ, and the same likewise within gold. Okay, now when I'm trading S&P 500 or the E-mini S&P 500, the ES, I'm looking for a smaller movement based on ticks. Okay, so because the value of a tick is different depending on what instrument you're trading, so that's something you want to definitely be in tune with based on what broker you're using. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump over here to the gold futures market. Now, the actual indicators that I've got loaded are the market trend alert, market trend trading session, and the micro or the market trend histogram. So I have the micro trend and the macro trend loaded. Now this money flow index here, I'm just using as a confirmation. It's something that I'm just playing with a little bit. You do not need this at all for this trading strategy. Okay. But just to kind of be clear, I want you guys to know what I'm using it for. Okay. Without that, without anything else, let's go ahead and look at today's market. Now, keep in mind that my 6:30 out here in California, this little 6:30 down here is definitely 3 hours behind the trading session start in New York. Okay. Now, as I look at today's market open, I usually like to take a few minutes to see what we got going. Now, now sometimes you'll hear me say 45 minutes. I don't want to start till 7:15. That's not always true because sometimes a trend will start after the market slightly gets going. All right. Here this morning, I'm using a 2-minute chart today because there was a little bit of volatility, a little less volatility in the beginning hours of the market today. But so I started off with a 2-minute chart, and sometimes I'll do that. All right. What I'm going to do is go ahead and show you here at 6:52. I get my first buy candle. I get my first agreement. And if you look, the money flow index actually um, shows that it's the same color. Buy on blue, sell on red. Get that concept? All right. So we go ahead and we'll just show you that the macro trend and the micro trend, the larger and the smaller trend, are both in agreement. So that means I can go ahead and put in a trade. What I'm looking for simply is just about 10 ticks above the wick. Okay, let's go ahead and mark that off. 10 ticks in this case is going to be right about roughly about 40, well, 40 ticks, not 10. 10 points, 40 ticks. Okay, so here we go. Okay, there's one right there. All right, so first trade was successful. Okay. Um, then we go on down here a little bit further into the day. We get our next confirmation and our next agreement at 8:32. So let's go ahead and put a line there at 8:32. Okay. And then let's go ahead and mark our trade on that one. Now, again, remember, I like to place the when I'm do a buy stop order, I like to place it right above the wick, and then I'll set my take profit out 40 ticks. Now, a lot of you guys are going to ask me, what do I set my stop loss for? Okay, I'm going to be quite clear on this. Sometimes I like to draw a line in the sand about 80 ticks below. Okay, so you might see me come over here and come down and draw a box underneath it. You know, even 60 ticks is not bad, but you want to give yourself some time to run. You want the market, once it does open the trade, because sometimes it'll do this before it takes off, the trend actually gets going. You want to give it some time to run. You don't want to get stopped out on superfluous nonsense with the wicks, because sometimes you'll see a wick just wham. Okay, and don't let that scare you. Just to find out that the very next candle, everything goes in the direction you want it to. So we don't want to be erroneously taken out. Now, again, that's why I don't set a hard stop loss. But what I do is I draw a line down here and I watch. And based on experience, you will develop whether this thing's going to turn around or not. Okay. And go up. I don't want it to get down here and really hit this, but if it does, it does. Sometimes it might go a little bit below it and then come back, depending on how much the market's moving. Okay, there's trade number 2. So far we're doing pretty good today. Let's go ahead and place that there. Let's bring this up a little bit. Just kind of wanting you guys to see these, see the charts, see how I trade it. Because the more you watch these, the more experience you're going to get, the more what I call gold nuggets you're going to pick up. Okay. And then the third trade that you could have got in today, which is really awesome. Here's another one. Let's just mark it up real quick. This is why the market trend system is so effective, folks. It's the only system I'm going to trade probably for quite some time. It's basically trading the trend. Okay, and let me go ahead and set this tick right here. Let's go up 40. And what you can really see here is basically on gold today, there was 3 great trades, 40 ticks or 10 points. You make your $400. That's what I'd like to make in a trade, $400 to $600. Okay, and I'm done. And if you look at each one of these, this is 3 for 3, 100% on gold. All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to switch over to the NQ. Let's hold on just a second here. Let's get out of that. Let's go over here to my different instruments. Let me see. I got to pull this out. Just bear with me for a second. Make sure I get the right instrument here. Bring up the NQ. Sometimes things get a little touchy. All right, now the NQ was a little bit more tedious this morning. Okay. So when the morning bell opened here, I took drew a line here, and I drew a line here because I didn't see nothing but a ranging um, ranging chart going on. Okay. Um, Now let me just make this a little bit. Let me spread this out a little bit. It's going the opposite direction I want it to. Okay, so the first time I got an agreement outside of the channel is right here on this candle. This was the first trade that I took this morning. Okay. And actually, the only one that I really needed for my prop firm accounts. However, I went ahead and traded on some other accounts that I have over in plus 500. Okay. So on this one, let me just put a sell candle right here. All right, now I go. Those other two vertical or horizontal lines that I put were specifically so I could measure the channel. Okay. Now let me go ahead and move that to the left, just two candles over, but you did see everything aligned. We had red all the way through. And what I'm trying to do here is on this particular candle, actually, when I was trading this one, I was on the 1 minute chart. Okay, so let's go over to the 1 minute chart. I don't want to confuse you guys. I was noticing some differences there. Get over to the 1 minute here. Bear with me. On the okay, so on this particular candle, I got an agreement right here, and let me go ahead and just place this 40 tick trade. Now, when I got into this thing, I did a market order. Okay, so I actually got in about halfway up that wick. So I was able to punch through on the very next candle and get my trade. All right, even if you would have waited this one out, uh, you probably would have got taken out of this trade. Now, like I said, with the NMKL trader market trend system, you're not going to win every trade. All right. This was another trade that I did take. I did win because I waited for the pullback up into the wick. And then on the very next candle, it came down and went through the 40 ticks. I got my 10 points. When I did that, I was out. And that's why I like that 10 points, because sometimes you can save yourself from these crazy trades. All right. Um, Now, I went 4 for 4 today. A little bit of that, I needed some advanced trading techniques. And that's why I want to do these videos for you so you can go back, review, and see what Nate's doing. Okay. And I'm going to get to a point somewhere here in the future where I can do some live trades for you guys as well. All right. I hope that this has been beneficial. Now, you can see how the market trend system is very effective. Now, what I recommend is, though, that you find an instrument that is trending. Okay. This one today kind of went sideways for a while. It was ranging. Okay. You could have picked up some pips or ticks, but sometimes there's days like today. What is going on? Well, there's more tariff stuff going on that's causing the market to be flat and sometimes selling off. All right. So kind of watch not only the news on investing.com or Forex Factory, but also take a look at what's going on in the geopolitical. Because right now, anything that comes out of the White House can drive the markets. I'm not telling you to agree with their politics, but what I am telling you is what they say can uh, either stimulate or put fear in financial markets. All right. Now, think about the market trend system, what it can do for you. And I'm telling you, it's out there for an introductory price. So come on now. And uh, that way, once you joined us, you can find the information in the link below or the link to get started below. You can purchase the market trend system and join our Discord group. And this is very crucial if you're having any kind of difficulty trading. You've been working with teams that you just get frustrated because you got clouded charts, you got um, people that it's really complicated. Um, you know, NMKL Traders place to be because all we do is wash and rinse and repeat what works. Everybody out there is telling you about AI. Yes, I'll talk to you someday about AI, but right now, wash, rinse, and repeat something that works over and over and over again. And that's when you're going to start to make money. All right. This is Nate. I hope this has been beneficial. Have a great night. And you guys, I'll see you in the trade room tomorrow.